mighty Mississippi.
Traveling on the rivers is like synonymous with like have patience.
We are coming up to the Chain of Rocks Canal. And this is a particularly important part.
Missouri.
13.
13. Whoa. What a day. We got the Arch, we got locks, we got the mighty Mississippi, and state 13. And we're staying at Hoppy's, cultural icon.
Hi, we're Jen, Elliot, and Ollie. In 2019, we left the United States and backpacked through 11 countries, all before deciding to come back home and try something completely new, pivoting into boat life. Our current adventure is America's Great Loop, a 6,000-mile journey through small towns, big cities, and the wilderness from the eastern portion of the United States, through the Great Lakes and Canada, and down the Midwest rivers, all aboard our home on the water, Pivot. Make sure you subscribe as we share our journey through the highs, lows, and everything in between.
Good morning. We have a huge day today on the loop. It's gonna be one to remember.
Day. Yeah, today we start the Mississippi River, the mighty Mississippi.
And then we have a couple locks before we come to the Arch, downtown St. Louis. And then we're going to a loop icon named Hoppy's. That's if everything goes according to plan and we don't have to pivot, which you guys know rarely happens.
Happens often.
So let's start the engines and get going. We just chatted with our boat buddies for the day. Wait a minute. The whole group, they were traveling in a pack of 3, but now it's just gonna be us, and wait a minute. There's been a lot of really unfortunate circumstances. One of the loopers, their house was severely damaged in Hurricane Ian, so they have to stop, and hopefully it's just a postponement, and they'll be back soon. But anyway, we're off. Although you didn't see much of Grafton, because we didn't walk much of Grafton, basically Grafton is known as the Key West of the Midwest. There are tons of restaurants here, lots of good bars. It's a popular biker destination, and we really enjoyed it here. It's our first time in the covered slip, which we liked, except for our Starlink didn't work. Which obviously you need a clear connection to the sky, so check it off the list, and it's good for now. No more covered slips. There's the Illinois River, and there's the Mississippi River. Oh, we're in the Mississippi! Woo!
Incredible. It couldn't have been a better day today to start this. It is like crystal clear, blue skies, sunny.
It's beautiful today.
Beautiful. It's a little bit chilly. It's October 1st in Illinois, but
it is getting
good.
Warmer. So
throughout the day,
throughout the day. So it's just the morning chill.
Wow.
How cool. So far off in the distance, it's really beautiful. There's really tall cliffs, and with trees on either side, it is beautiful. And at this time of the morning, kind of just looks like these different hues of blue, bluish gray. It's beautiful.
Wow.
yesterday when we were having breakfast with Deb and TJ, 2 of our subscribers, they told us about this statue right here, which has an interesting story and history. And this statue was originally erected for a patron saint in charge of basically making sure the river doesn't flood. And it's just an interesting story. I mean, you see the statue along the side of the Mississippi and you're like, well, what's that, you know, what's that from? Super cool and super neat to learn about this stuff and all the different regions we're able to travel and loop.
I guess celebrate us starting the Mississippi River. It's gonna be a banana pancakes kind of day. Primarily because we have bananas that are overly ripe and need to be eaten. We get a lot of questions about having bananas on a boat and whether or not we believe in the superstition of bananas on a boat. And it's not that we believe or don't believe in the superstition, because knock on wood. It's more the fact that Elliot eats at least a banana a day, if not 2 bananas. He eats so many bananas, it's like someone not having coffee. Elliot has to have his bananas. So anyway, we're making banana pancakes.
I don't know what the way. 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 I don't know what the way.
Happy Mississippi River Day.
Wow, what is that?
Banana pancakes.
Oh my word.
Here you go.
I am the luckiest looper alive. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I missed you.
I missed you.
Wow, those look amazing.
Yeah. Whenever bananas go bad, whenever they're like overly ripe and essentially Elliot won't eat them, I typically make banana pancakes. When we were living on land, I made a lot of banana bread, but we don't have an oven that has like consistent heat and all that. So I make banana pancakes instead. So we don't have food waste.
Yay!
Yay!
We are just about to pass under the Alton Bridge, and coming into this area on the loop this year, we didn't know if we wanted to stay in Alton or Grafton because they're very similar and they're also very different. So like they both offer really good looper discounts. Grafton had buy 3 days get 1 day free. Grafton was also a little bit closer. It's about 2.5 hours for us, about 15 nautical miles in between them. So we chose Grafton because it seemed like there were restaurants there and also it was closer. I mean, we arrived at sunset the other day and we had an 11.5 hour day. So that kind of moved our decision to Grafton. But we also were kind of considering going to Alton halfway. We didn't do that because of the discounts, but we were considering going, basically splitting up our stay in this region, like 2 days in Alton, 2 days in Grafton, or whatever. We didn't, but we kind of regret it because Alton really seemed like a cool city. We drove into Alton yesterday with TJ and Deb, and it just seemed cool. You kind of, the marina is right near a big park, so I think if we had to do the loop again, which who knows, we would either split up our time or next year we would just go to Alton. Nothing bad about Grafton. We did enjoy Grafton as well.
And you might be thinking, well, you didn't even do much in Grafton either. And that's because we were working. And unfortunately, that's true. We didn't do a whole lot in Grafton and we wish we had more time to do stuff. It just, time like escaped us yesterday and tasks took longer than what we thought, which is typical boat life. So, it is what it is.
So 2 more things about Alton and Grafton before I forget that may sway your mind is that Alton has a train to St. Louis. They do the Amtrak. It goes quite a few times per day and it's pretty cheap, like less than 10 bucks a person. So that's pretty cool. And Grafton has a courtesy car, which we used yesterday, as you guys saw in our vlog, which was also pretty cool. So you can't go wrong.
Or you could just do both like we did not do and, you know,
Best of both
get the
worlds.
most. Yeah, exactly.
Except for the discount. You miss out on the discount that way. So
Unless you stay for like a week or whatever.
that's true. But also, you know, the marinas are not too expensive. I mean, I think Grafton was $1.30 and so pretty good. Make sure to check out our expense report to see exactly how much it costed. Literally right after Alton and the Alton Bridge is the first lock of the day for us. We only have 2 and they're both kind of close and they're both before St. Louis. So we are holding position. We are letting the mighty Mississippi float us to the lock start because we're waiting on a barge to lock through. I don't think it'll be that long. I think it's just 1 barge if they're not double locking. So hopefully we're locking through in like 20 minutes. We shall see. I just feel like traveling on the rivers is like synonymous with like have patience. Like you're not locking through these things like the Erie Canal or Trans-Siberian Canal. You are waiting on the commercial traffic, and as long as that's your frame of mind, everything is great. If you're trying to rush, you're trying to get somewhere, might not have a good time. All right, we got a green light. It was about 20-30 minutes. Now we can proceed and enter. He said we have floaters on both sides of the lock. So for us, we like to do starboard side because that's where I can see easier. Let's execute.
I am preparing the boat for the locks, and Elliot gave me the instructions that we're going to be on the starboard side, so I'm getting this ready. And in the conversation with the lockmaster, we might be floating, so we might have just like 1 line on our midship. So I'm going to get out all of our fenders, so that way, like, in case the boat pivots on the wall a little bit, there's all the fenders out to protect the boat. So that's the methodology.
Morning. Who is that, Ollie? Who is that? Good morning. So we're just gonna grab this one, I think, $3.50. Yeah, we can go. No, we'll go up 1 more. Yeah, we'll reverse onto it. Yeah.
Good job, babe. Okay.
All right. First lock in, successful. This is a completely new style of lock for us. There is a floating bollard. So we just tied up to it, kind of like a dock in a way. And it looks like it's gonna come down and up with us, just on the midship. So, as you guys have been following our previous lockages, when you just have the midship, you need to make sure you have good fender placement, far forward and far aft. So when you swing like this, you pivot on the midship, your boat is A-okay. And Jennifer has put fenders where they need to be, so que bueno.
So there's a little wall that you can see right here that they raised up. There's no like doors that like shut the lock. And one thing that we have to be careful of is this. There's multiple of these as they go down.
Where's the WD-40, mate?
Oh my god.
What the heck?
Wow, now the wall that got raised in the lock, essentially the locked door, but it's like a vertical door, I guess. It's a door that lifts up and down. One of our fenders was getting a little like wonky, which is important why we have to be very mindful and cautious. Make sure the fenders are doing their job. But you can now see the doors that have been, that were raised. Yeah, really cool.
Interesting lock.
Yeah, it is.
Lock doors are open, so let's get out of here. And there's the horn. It says, time to go.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. That's what the lockmaster's saying.
All right, line is off.
You wear me down. My actions won't be forgiven. When we first met, a simple text.
It looks awfully big over there. Are we sure we're not supposed to go that way?
I am 150% sure. We are coming up to the Chain of Rocks Canal. And this is a particularly important part when on a boat and doing the loop, or just in a boat in general. Now, we are basically at a branch, and the branch goes, and this is heading southbound. To the right, you go towards St. Louis, and it goes to the Chain of Rocks. If you go to the left, and there's a little white sign with a blue arrow that says lock and points to the left, and you go through the lock, which is how you're supposed to do it. Unfortunately, last year there was a sailboat that missed the sign, wasn't paying attention, maybe had a malfunction, I don't know. But they went the other way, and they went down the Chain of Rocks. And their boat got severely damaged, stuck. It is vitally important that you make the left and you go to the lock.
Lower flush craft to come down, so just work on down the wall, lock them, and I'll turn around and come back and get you.
You wear me down. My actions won't be forgiven.
Since coming to the Midwest Rivers, I've really appreciated having the capability to listen to 3 channels at once. 16 because that's the International Hailing and Distress channel, and that's where everybody tries first. 14 because that's the lock channel, and a lot of times communication will be there right around the locks. And then 13 because that's bridge to bridge, so that's like reaching out to a tow or something, or a tug. And so what we do is we have our little handhelds that we listen to, 13 in this case, and then I'm dual watching our main radio, 16 and 14. And we also use this on the Illinois River in our flotilla, because I would basically listen to 68 on the handheld, and then the lock and 16 on the main one. So it's kind of interesting, you know, people are listening to different channels, so you kind of just have to be everywhere. if you want to stay up to date on it.
If you're currently planning for your loop, check out our All Great Loop Locks spreadsheet. It consists of every single lock throughout the entire loop. It's split up by section, detailing the mile marker, elevation gain, the phone number or VHF channel to call, and any of our relevant notes. Check it out on our store.
Elliot is focusing.
This is wide open throttle for us.
Really? Holy cow. Right now we are passing a barge in this Chain of Rocks channel, and the towboat is pushing 15 barges, so it's 3 wide and 5 deep. It's a very large barge. With the water level being low this year, it means that the channel is even more narrow, and the wake, or like the waves that they make, they're very small, but they're very powerful. And so it just makes it kind of difficult to navigate. So Elliot's doing the best that he can to just like kind of like maneuver us really well and steadily in this tight channel.
We're getting waked by the boat ahead of us, which is weird to think about, but basically their wake is bouncing off of the barge and coming back towards us. So it's like a very weird scenario where like we're waking the boat behind us even though we're directly ahead of them. Super strange. One thing to keep in mind is very important is when you pass a barge, you don't cut them off. It's just like a semi-truck, they can't see you. So you go out further and then you come over. The Chain of Rocks lock will actually be another first for us today, which is exciting. Multiple firsts, you know, after so many miles in the loop, it's not every day that you have that. And apparently they have an auxiliary lock here. So they have 2 chambers, and I presume it's so they can move along smaller boats or maybe even 2 barges at once when they're staggering coming in. So I don't know the exact reason, but it's nice for us because we just passed 2 barges, so they're not going to make us wait for those 2 barges to go through, which could be a couple hours. Instead, they're just going to put us through the auxiliary, which is on the right side, heading downstream for this lock, and all should be good. It is windy. Watch out, we're going forward. I think it's fine. Just watch out.
That's what the fenders are for.
Yeah, that's what the fenders are for. The thing about wind and locks is that it doesn't behave exactly how you think it will, because the wind bounces off the wall.
Yeah, I could use your help actually.
Okay. Pivot Wrangler number 1, Jennifer. Great work.
Thank you.
Doors coming up. Good job.
Hey.
What is this man doing? First people in, first people out. That's how it works.
Rockstar pose.
There's one lock chamber. There's another lock chamber.
There it is.
Oh, there it is. Nice.
Wow, cool. We're coming into downtown St. Louis, and it kills me that there's not a place to like pull off, go to a dock, and then explore the town. St. Louis just has nothing for pleasure boats. But this is an area, just like the Statue of Liberty, where you'll want to have a buddy boat for the pictures. We are flying! Where's the jet burner trail?
Whoa, 10 knots!
Wow, are you buckled in?
Whoa, whoa,
Whoa.
Hold it tight.
Oh, 10-1.
My God. What? Whoa, whoa,
Hey,
wow.
safety
Zuz.
first. Buckle in. It's like a roller coaster.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we actually are flying. Look how fast we're passing this by.
Whoa!
Wow. We hit double digit, folks.
Little boy in a hurry to find his answers. And then I grew up, man, I fell hard. There was never a battle for redemption. Just a trickle, trickle, while I wait on the side of the road, yeah. Just a trickle, trickle, while I wait on the side of the road, yeah. Pieces of you, pieces of me, last September. And I said, well, whoa, let 'em go, yeah. Forever never was your favorite answer. And I said, well, whoa, let 'em go, yeah. And I said, well, whoa, let 'em go, yeah. Oh, give me life. Hugging me death in the middle of the night. Oh, won't you give me life? Run and tell me all your secrets. Love me like a fever.
This is mind-blowing, having the arch right there.
It's so close.
Well worth it. We're like doing circles and stuff, but now we're gonna go run into a bridge. So, bye.
Bye.
Seeing it from the water, one of a kind.
Oh, give me life. Oh, give me life. Oh, give me.
Lunchtime.
Whoa, that looks good.
For lunch, my goal is to reuse some of the leftover tomato basil mozzarella that I had for like bruschetta kind of last night. So for lunch, I boiled some pasta and then I sauteed some garlic in oil and then put the tomato basil mozzarella in that, added a little bit more pepper, and that's lunch.
Dang it, it's so good.
Good.
Man. Oh, thanks, babe.
You're welcome.
We have about an hour and a half left of our cruise today. It's really been shortened quite a bit because we didn't wait for the locks that long. The second lock we didn't wait at all. And we're going 9 knots. So
Holy
we're doing
cow.
it. Boom, zoom, zoom. It's crazy. I'm really looking forward to these couple of days cruising down the Mississippi because the Mississippi gets a lot of flack. And a lot of people who are kind of on the fence about the loop say like they don't want to run the ditch or, you know, run the Midwest rivers through the Mississippi because it's so much stress and not fun, and you know, I don't know, we like to really try to experience things with an open mind, and so that's what we're taking to the Mississippi. And really just, we'll see how it goes and we'll share with you guys our experiences here because everybody's experience is different, but we'll keep it real with y'all and show exactly what we see and exactly how it makes us feel. There's Hoppies right there. And then there's Wait a Minute, chilling in the channel. We have made it to Hoppies, which is our final destination for this evening. We're gonna fill up because the next leg of the loop is the longest leg without fuel. Talk about that more later. But they only have room for one boat on their fuel dock at once, and everybody's fueling here. So we were 4th in line, now we are 3rd. So we are just literally floating down the Mississippi River right now. The current is like a 3.5, 4 knot current. It's pretty ridiculous. It's awesome. I love it because it's working for us. We're literally going 3.78 knots right now, just floating. Like it's awesome. Hoppies is a cultural icon on the loop because of the history here. Used to be run by Fern, and the classic photo is of Fern smoking a cigarette at the fuel dock. It's pretty funny, a little bit outrageous, and now her daughter Debbie runs the show.
They've had some issues with the floods recently, destroying some of their docks, so it's been challenging times, but it makes us feel a little nice to be able to stay here tonight, give them our business, fill up fuel here, which also helps them. So they don't have a lot of space. I think they only have room for like 6 or 7 boats, but they do allow rafting, so it's cool that we're gonna be able to stay here.
We are currently filling up our tanks with more diesel, and we do this about once a month. If you're interested in how much our fuel costs on the loop, we include monthly expense reports for all of our Great Loop expenses on our website or in the description box below. Filling up our fuel tanks is a 2-person job. Now, this changes from boat to boat, and I think a lot of it just is because we have an old boat. Elliot is outside at the fuel intake spots, and he is filling up the fuel just like you would at a gas station. For some reason, our port side tank is a little finicky, so we know that we have to do that side slower than we have to do our right for our starboard side. Meanwhile, I am inside. We have the engine hatch open, and I am looking at our sight line. Our fuel tank has this glass pipe. The sight lines tell us how much fuel is in our tank. So it's really important that I'm either whoever's in this job in the cabin, looking at the sight glass, is here and is being very attentive, because that's how we know if our tanks are full. So it's a very important job. Both of us need to be focused, attentive. That's how it works for us. I'm sure it's different for many other boats, but for this old boat, that's how it's done.
Stop. Okay, sounds good. Fuel success. Now we gotta move to our assignments. Ready? You tell me when you're ready too.
I'm ready.
You're ready, okay.
Yeah.
Up there where he's at.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's good, Cam. There you go.
Hi, Ollie.
There we go.
Stay on the boat.
Hey, Ollie. Oh my goodness. So our dockage and over 100 gallons of fuel came out to be $574. That will be in our monthly expense report, so make sure you check out our website for that. That was a really steep hill. Didn't bother Ollie at all. Officially?
We're in Missouri.
We're in Missouri. What state is this? Florida,
Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, Delaware,
New Jersey,
New York, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois,
Missouri.
13.
13. Whoa. What a day. We got the Arch, we got Locks, we got the mighty Mississippi, and state 13. Oh my God. And we're staying at Hoppy's. Cultural icon.
Cultural icon on the loop. Just relative.
Oh, I think you can glean a lot about a lot of things. Now, in a couple minutes, Debbie, who's the daughter of Fern, Debbie is going to be giving everybody a briefing on the route upcoming, which is kind of fun. We haven't been in this sort of briefing. There was one in Heritage Harbor, if you remember, off the Illinois River, and now we're in the mighty Mississippi, so let's get a route briefing.
Back out slow, take your and they're running out of water up there too. So
Today was a day on the loop, like lots of new things. It's everything that you want the loop to be.
We had such a great first day on the Mississippi River, and we've really been enjoying the scenery and just the newness of everything, which is essentially, it's the loop. Every day is new, unless you're doing it over and over and over again.
Even then, you probably still have new things.
Right, because the weather conditions, they change daily, yearly.
And today was especially new for the boat in front of us. It was their first day on the loop.
Yeah,
so
it was so cool.
Really cool. Got to meet them, and we're going to be hopping down the river together. Yeah. The information session from Debbie was fantastic. Lots of information about anchorages and distances. And for example, she told us that there's a dredging operation that you have to call at least a half hour in advance. I didn't know that. Yeah. And that's just gonna save time and headache later. So awesome. So thank you, Debbie, for that. And this Hoppy's has been a fantastic stop.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we're gonna go into town for
a special treat.
Yes, it's gonna be awesome.
And then we have a
lovely,
a nice cruise planned for tomorrow.
So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you mañana.
We made it to the mighty Mississippi. What food? You want a bath? So are we locking up? I don't think so.
No, I think we're locking down.
We have so much protection here. It's like we're locking up.
Well, I think the river is also really low.
Oh, true.
Well, there's a wedding going on right there. It's a view of the Mississippi River. How pretty. And it's yet another bucket list item that we never knew we had on board Pivot. Watch a wedding. Congrats, Sammy and Ruby.
But it showed me a piece of myself that was missing, and that piece is you.
Us need to be. Yeah, I'm talking to the camera.
Debbie, daughter of Fern. Sound like some fiction novel. Officially,
we're in Missouri.
We're in Missouri. What state is this?
Number 12, maybe?
January? No, that's not a state.